This is a National Museum of Australia production. For more information, visit nma.gov.au.
On the 5th of December 1909, Taylor and his associates and quite a crowd of onlookers watched the first flight by Taylor in one of his aircraft, a biplane glider, of which we now own a replica. To celebrate the centenary of George Taylor's first flight in his glider in 1909, the Australian Gliding Museum launched a project that lasted 3 years to build 3 replicas to better understand the glider and the technology and design that Taylor was working with. Research undertaken by the Australian Gliding Museum and aeronautical engineer David Craddock indicated that the original material was pine and ash wood as the frame and a cotton cover. So every effort was made in the making of the replicas to source material as close to the original as possible. The Australian Gliding Museum members, all volunteers, built 3 replicas within the space of 3 years to celebrate the centenary of George Taylor's flight. In preparing the glider for installation, the wind currents had to be tested in the main hall. The Australian Gliding Museum has established that the glider would require a direct current of 15 miles per hour to lift the glider directly off the ground. Concern about wind currents in the hall proved unfounded as testing revealed that there were no wind currents in the ceiling. When the glider was offered to the National Museum in 2009, it presented a logistical challenge, not only to get it from Victoria to Canberra, but also a challenge to try and exhibit it in an effective way in the National Museum, where we're limited for space and resources. But every effort was made to get the glider up to celebrate the centenary of George Taylor's original flight, and the decision was made to hang it in the main hall.
You can download more programs from nma.gov.au. National Museum of Australia. Discover what it means to be Australian.